Oh, and we're here. Today's talk show. Today's talk show is about culture, and we're not gonna do like a deep dive, but we're gonna do a little something. We're gonna do a little something, just to introduce and let you know. I got my fan ready. I got my beads on. I'm just ready for this show, man. And of course, we're gonna have 90 King pull up and talk about culture, man. We talking about culture. If you don't know me that much, if you just joining the live, my name is John Flo, and I grew up in New York City, and New York City has its own culture, and I'm a first generation American from a Caribbean background, so that's like its own culture as itself, like right there. So yeah, man, we gonna get into the culture, man. We gonna get into the culture conversation. Shout out shout out to everybody that subscribed. Shout out to everybody, and today I got the hoodie merch, you know. Just show y'all a little bit. I mean, it's a little backwards, but the hustle never sleeps still. The hustle never sleeps in the back, so yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about culture, man. There's so much to learn about culture. Not a lot of people know about the Nigerian culture or, just other cultures, period. So we're here to just we're here to just do that. We're just here to just talk about that, and just we here to give y'all that information. So, I got this fan. This is like I got this the first time I ever went to Nigeria, and this fan is pretty cool. You know, it's something that kings in the Igbo culture use. They just fanning themselves, and then they got the cane and stuff like that. They got the beads and stuff like that. So, I got these beads. I wore these beads in my first video. Shot my first ever music video in Nigeria, in Lagos, Nigeria. And what an experience, man. What an experience. Of course, I got the hat. Cause I'm a king. Cause I'm a king. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't even know if it fit. It barely fits, but I'll tell you this, man. You know, I wore it, man. I wore it in that hot sun. Going through all that, going through all that stuff, man. What's going on, man? Thanks for dropping by in the chat. So yeah, man. We're here to talk about culture, and I'm showing off my King's hat that I wore in my music video, King of Zamunda. That's from my song King of Zamunda. If y'all want to check out that video, that's on John Flow Music. That's on John Flow Music on YouTube, and y'all could just check it out, man. Just check it out, man. It's my very first video, so bear with me. Nah, it was good though. It was really good. It was really good. It was really good. And I'll have like a segment. I'll have a talk show segment about like a lyrical breakdown. I'll do a lyrical breakdown of the show. I mean of the song, and I'll do just the logistics of how the video came about, because when I did the video, it was it was like really spontaneous. It wasn't really meant to be a whole music video production. It was meant to be just like a small little cameo type thing, and nothing crazy. It was just meant to be something small, but it turned out to be a whole video. Like, can you imagine that? Like that right there alone is just, how much planning it takes to do a music video just by itself. It takes a lot more time, and we did it in one meeting. You know, and here we go. We're gonna have our guests come in, we'll talk about that another time. Nani King, Alpha, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah,
How's it
man.
going, man? How's it going,
Uh,
chat? Hope
you know,
everybody's alright.
yeah, man. I'm just chilling with the chat, talking to the chat, man. Interacting with the chat. Anybody in the chat, please, man, let me know if you're here, man. Let us know, and we'll interact with you as well as we're doing our thing. So, I was just talking to them about the King of Zamunda. Just touching base on that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
cause
I see the crown as well, man. I see the crown.
of
You're
course,
really
man.
representing.
Fit for a king, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Continental hustle kings out here, man. So yeah, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
like one of those things where I was just touching base on it because one of these days I'm gonna have a talk show of a lyrical breakdown of the King of Zamunda video
Mm.
because this guy's a major part of it, and you know bringing the ideas to life, and that's what we do out here, that's what we do.
I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think the other day when we talked about the music that we make and stuff,
Mm.
I don't know if the chats were, I don't know if they checked it out, but dope stuff. And you know, the inspiration behind King of Zamunda is something I find interesting too, because out of nowhere I see a Black American singing about, the African heritage, singing about, Nigeria and all that stuff. I found it very interesting actually.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy how we put that together, and
You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you clear, man. I can hear you clear. Yeah, so it's just crazy how we put that together, and and I was just telling the chat that it started off
Yeah,
with it wasn't supposed to be a whole music video. It was supposed to be just a little small cameo type thing, nothing, no major production, but it was cool, man. It
yeah,
was cool, man. But
yeah, for
we here to
sure.
talk. We here to talk
And
about culture. That's just me diving into the culture and getting to know the culture a little bit more and experiencing. Get that experience alone was breathtaking. So
yeah,
but we'll talk about that. We'll talk more about that. We'll have a segment on it and we'll have a little deep dive. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. Yeah. So Nani King, we're here to talk about culture, man. Tell me about these beads, man. Tell me about these beads, man. Um, where does this whole how you doing? How you doing, Zohan? Zohan's in the chat. Thanks for the subscribe. And yeah,
hi
tell me.
Zohan, thanks for subscribe. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
yeah.
out to you.
Tell me
You
about
know,
these
the
cool.
interesting thing about these beats that you put on here,
Mm-hmm.
the beats is not very specific to a culture. Say
Mm-hmm.
in Nigeria, for instance, like you have a lot of uh, cultures and ethnic groups putting on this type of beats. But this one is, I think, you can link it to like the Igbo culture because even though the beats are a bit similar, in terms of appearance and stuff, there are just certain details that make that, teach them apart. Like this one is giving like an Igbo culture type beat, Igbo or southeast, that is the south coast of Nigeria, southeast of Nigeria, and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. But like there are certain beats that you see. I don't know, I should have brought samples, but there are just certain beats depending on how the beats has been spaced. Like there's a way you space it, then you can tell that, oh, this beat is like a Yoruba type
Okay.
other ethnic group, you know, it's from other ethnic group. However, I think you can, these days the culture, culture has evolved to the point where um,
Yep. You there?
you can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah. You was talking about.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm
You was
here.
talking about the a
So
Yoruba person. Mm-hmm.
the network is just throwing me out a bit.
That's cool. I'm
But
just
you know
in.
what's
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah. Tell me the thing. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? Like there's this talk from the
Mm-hmm.
talk is that in Africa, and I find, it's kind of there was this time when they said it like, there's no culture in Africa, and I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's a whole
They,
culture, you know,
they,
and there's also, hello, yeah, you want to say something?
yeah, I was saying they craze, they craze. You know? Yeah, man.
Yeah, because the history of Africa dates back to the times of the Bible and beyond as well. So, there have been a lot of innovation, a lot of culture, arts as well. That predates the colonial era, that predates the transatlantic slave trade.
Hmm.
Because I think they just view it in the lens of the transatlantic slave trade, and then they just feel like there's no culture. And whereas if you go to the London Museum,
Yeah.
you see a lot of African artifacts, see a lot of artifacts
Yeah.
from different parts of Africa, Nigeria. There's a queen of Benin. It's a very prized artifact that Nigeria have been trying to get back, but British Museum, British government, they've they refuse to drop it. They refuse to let it. So
Yeah. And then
out because they find it very interesting. But it's American.
hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I am, yeah, definitely. Like I am a first generation American, my parents Trini and stuff like that. They are Trini. So, that's all part of the transatlantic slave thing. So, I have yet to do like a deep dive of where, and on in my ancestry to find out exactly where in Africa, So and taking a deep dive like that, you gotta do both parents. And then it's like a family tree of stuff. When you do deep dives like that, you either do your father's side or your mother's side, and if you do your father's side, you do his father's gene pool, and then you do your mother's side, you do her father's or her mother's gene pool. So it spans like it gets deep, like we all like we all came from somewhere, you know and there's this big thing going on about like who we truly are. Like some people say they're 100% American and stuff like that, and it's like it might not be the case. You might have to take a deep look into that. So the Trini culture, just to touch on the Trini culture, there's some things that I find similar in the Trini culture.
Okay,
There's some things I find similar. When y'all say that's something that Trini say. Or dies,
okay.
dies, like that is dies. Do y'all say that?
Die square. Come and get it over.
So in Trini, to that is dies, like dies,
Dies.
die, like yeah, like die
What does
is,
that mean?
like that is,
Oh,
yeah, like dies, that
that
dies.
is.
Yeah, that's what it
Oh, okay. They
means.
just put it together. That's like
Yeah,
pidgin. That's like pidgin English, to
ex-
Nigerians.
you see, You see, so there's like
Yeah.
a lot of similarities in what I see, like, especially the part, because I hear I used to hear a lot growing up. Yeah, yeah, you know, growing up. So that's like when I look at the similarities and stuff like that, I'm like, damn, man, it's like spot on. Is like, there's some similarities between Trini and Nigerian, because they were saying, it said that some Trinis come from Nigeria. Like, I believe maybe in Tobago, and Trinidad too, but yeah, because Trinidad is an island, and then Tobago is a sister island that's like right above it. Like, it's, yeah, Tobago. Yeah, that's why they say Trinidad and Tobago. So it's like a sister island in that's like not even far. It's not even that far.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I thought they just. I figured when certain
Mm.
countries have like a hand in it, like it's a joint thing. But like I just thought, maybe Trinidad and Tobago are just like But are they
Yeah.
still a country
Yeah.
together,
It's,
or are
it's
they
a country
separate now?
together. But there's in the past they try to separate themselves. But
Mm.
it's not. Yeah, it's Trinidad and Tobago.
But
You
what
know.
about what about now though? Like, do they feel like you know because just like in Nigeria,
Camila, what's up,
in Nigeria,
Camila?
there's still part of Nigeria that feel
Yeah.
like they want to secede. Like, is there a friendly nature between Trinidad and say Tobago, for instance? Are they very friendly with each other?
I mean, I haven't been around I haven't been around them to like know exactly what's going on. I'll have to ask like a actual Trinidadian that grew up there, and just
Yeah.
to see if there's. But I from the outside looking in, I do see a little beef, but it's not like bad beef. They are different. Trust me, they are different though. Like, they're different people, you know.
Mm.
They're different. Like, they're like different. The Tobagonians are more like aggressive, not like, not in a bad way, but they're like the way they talk. The way they talk is a little more aggressive, and apart from Trinidadians, they say Trinidadians is the sweetest accent
Okay.
in the Caribbean. I don't know, so I like that.
Yeah, can you give us
A
a
little
little
something.
something, like,
Oh man, you put me on the spot right
yeah, give
now,
us a little
man. I
something.
don't. You see, I don't dabble too much into the Trini accent like that, but it might come out during the talk show, throughout the talk show. Uh-huh, uh-huh. So like, yeah,
Uh,
it might come out throughout the talk show. So just bear with me; it'll come out.
yeah. Okay.
What is your
We're just gonna give you a pass for
Nah? What is you doing,
that.
boy?
What was
What do you ask you doing, boy?
that?
That's how
I
that,
mean,
like,
is
yeah,
it
that.
just me, or like it's giving a bit of Jamaican, the island vibe, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's different though. Like, it's different dialects, man. Like,
Okay. Mm.
Bajans talk kind of like a little British, but a little funny though,
Oh,
like a funny British, like. But it's
okay.
different. It's very different, you know. It's like
Okay. But I
some
found
some shit
something
like that.
very
I don't know.
interesting though.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
attempt to try,
Um.
but I yeah. Go ahead.
Apart from the English related languages, are they like cultural, or like a more ethnic language, that you guys speak there, apart from the English related languages? Because what I'm just been hearing, like, the English related ones, but like, are there more cultural languages there that are very what's the word now?
Like
Very
distinct,
ethnical, like,
like distinct.
yeah, distinct. That is not related to English.
Um, I'm in Trinidad. I don't think so. I don't think so. They might be. Don't quote me. They might be, but I don't. Not that I know of. But I, since the Venezuelans came over there, because Venezuela is literally right there. Venezuela is like, you could take a boat there. It's like, it's not even far. But um, like, A lot of Venezuelans was like migrated there. So you know, I'm a cause and effect guy. So
Yeah.
eventually Spanish would be another language that that Trinis speak. You know, and Trinidad was owned by Spain at one point. That's why some of their parts of Trinidad is like they were taken over by Spain at one point. So that's why parts of Trinidad is like San Juan and stuff like that, and like these Spanish names. But
Mm.
like Trinis always come up with their own stuff. Like San Juan is Sawa.
Sawa.
Yeah, like
Sawa. What does it
yo,
what, what
that's
does it
how they
mean though?
pronounce it. It's, you know,
Oh, okay.
it's Sawa. Like that's how like they don't fully, and that's a lot of dialects. Like people will drop the T's, make it shorter, you know, and or
Mm-hmm.
drop whatever and make, you know, just to make it shorter and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah.
like yo, it's crazy, man. When we do like a deep dive and stuff like that, because we're gonna do deep dives and stuff like that when we
Yeah.
get back,
Eventually. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know we're gonna hit you with some stuff, you know. So we're gonna give y'all some information. So yeah, man,
Yeah, and I
it's
feel
a
like one of the things that we also need to take a look at, is language from different parts of the world, because I think this also might be the ripple effects of colonialism, because
yes,
before the British
absolutely.
came to Trinidad, before they went to Venezuela, before they went to Argentina, before they went to any part of the world, like
Mm-hmm.
what were the languages that the indigenes of those places were speaking? Because
Right.
now you'd find out that, okay, like now you just said they're not familiar with any other language apart from the English related languages in
Mm-hmm.
Trini, for instance. You
Yeah.
know, because of colonialism, I think, the culture, the language have been eroded, and now, the young people growing up now, they don't even know what the indigenous language is. So and I think that's been a battle, for instance, in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are encouraged to study the more people study Igbo in the uni right now. People are
Okay.
encouraged to study, the indigenous languages, just to keep the culture going, just to keep the tradition going. So your your culture don't get eroded, just like, some people have been conquered when it comes to that aspect. So, but I think it's just interesting, to see where this indigenous, or what happened to the indigenous languages of these regions before and after the British people, the British, and every other imperialist came.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because um Africa as a whole is, you know, through the the conference that what's the name of the conference again? Because I can't think of it right now.
The Berlin Conference,
Berlin
the
Conference.
Berlin Conference.
Yeah. After
Yeah.
that, and the scramble for Africa, when
Mhm.
everybody came together and went to look at the African map and was like, pick a country, any country, you know, pretty much
Yeah,
it was like an auction, you know. So and they didn't have no
yeah,
African representatives,
yeah,
and you
for
and
sure.
all over Africa, they speak different languages apart from
Sure.
their cultural languages. Africa is a perfect
Mhm.
example of that, you know, because you know through colonialism, Cote d'Ivoire they speak French, and then
Yeah.
like a lot of the countries they speak. That's like their first language, you know, like that's what they speak, and then they'll probably
Mm.
veer off to the original, and of
Mhm.
course, you know, you want to be in touch with your original, like that should be your first
Yeah.
language, and but
Mhm.
that because of colonialism. So yeah, that's just like one
Mhm.
of those examples. You know, they speak all type of language,
Yeah.
Dutch, Spanish, every any language you could think of in Africa, you know, just as a whole.
Yeah.
So you know, so tell me,
So
let's
the okay.
so Nani, so for the chat. teach us teach us some Igbo, like teach us a Igbo, Igbo word. Like just let's start for starters, you know.
You know what? I think one instance, the chat give me a word, or like you give me a word, and I'm going to tell
Okay,
you what it means in English.
say
Just to make it
okay.
more fun and
How do
stuff.
you say hello? How are you doing?
Hello is like kedu, kedu. Like you see somebody kedu kime, but like kedu is like a more short version of saying hello. Kedu.
Okay,
Like
Kedu.
yeah, while
That's easy.
pronouncing it, let me see. Yeah,
That's
that's
easy to
easy.
remember. That's easy to remember.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it first. Chat to say hello in Igbo is Kedu. Right? Did I say it right?
Kedu. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Yeah,
All
I think
right. Cool. Cool.
the pronunciation was good there.
All right. So let me fan
Yeah.
for that. I'll fan myself for that. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a distinct handshake for like in the Igbo culture, like when the chief or the elders when they greet each other. I think I
Hmm.
tried making that handshake with you,
Yeah.
where bring the fan, you just go like this, 1, 2, 3, and then you shake,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
then you go
I
back.
remember. Yeah. 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 Definitely remember that. Like the fan shake. I call it. I call it a fan shake. Not a handshake. A fan shake.
Yeah, then
Yeah. Yeah. So.
yeah. If the fan on you, like if you have it, then I'll go with my hand like that. So I think it's a distinct handshake, or when it comes to the Igbo culture, like in Nigeria, for instance. So that's a distinct thing.
Right. Right. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, man. So is learning about culture to me is important because when you're interacting with different people all over the world, when you embrace their culture, it makes things much easier for you. You know, don't like my tips to just traveling places. d- don't go there not willing to, just not being open to learn new things. Don't go there with a closed mind. Don't go to places with a closed mind, and that's just everywhere. Anytime I'm traveling somewhere, like Japan or something like that, I'll try to brush up on their language and try to at least try to say hello. Like I'll go to Japan and be like konnichiwa, and or yeah, like even I know I even know some in South Africa, they speak Zulu or whatever. Yeah, I even familiarize myself with the click sounds. The click sounds, like that's all pronunciations. And they make fun of it in comedy, like that's how that's their language, like that's how they talking. But in all actuality,
Yeah.
that's they're not saying anything. They're pronouncing. There's the way they pronounce. There's a C, Q, and an X click. So and that's how they pronounce those letters. So whenever you hear the
You
click,
know, but,
yeah.
but for yeah, but for all the countries that you've been though, like which language do you find the most interesting? You know, so the most interesting, the hardest to learn, or maybe like the easiest to learn, or something like that. Like which language do you find the most interesting? Let's start from there.
Well, it's a country I haven't even been to yet, and that's China. You know,
Chunk.
China, yeah. 中国人吗?
Oh, China. Oh.
中国人吗? That's how. Yeah. So
Well, you're
so
not even been to China already, picking on the language already.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You see that? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, embracing the culture before you even go there, because you never know. Like, if you speak a little something, they'll be impressed. Like, it's like the amount of times, like, I will interact with somebody that speaks a little bit of English, but teach me a little bit of their language. They're just happy
Mhm.
and excited about that. So, you
Yeah,
know,
that is how it is. And I also, that when especially white people, because Nigerians just have this thing about white people. When a white person speaks pidgin online, say on social media, TikTok, Facebook, wherever, the person speaks, a line of pidgin or speaks like a Nigerian language. You see a lot of Nigerians be like, wow, like a white person is speaking this language, like there's this
Hmm.
happiness, and that's just the thing with humans, certain things like this just unifies us. When you see somebody speaking your language that is obviously not from your place, like you find it
Hmm.
interesting, like wow, you speak, wow, that's nice. Like they find it interesting, and
Yeah.
and also I've seen contents about this black guy. I don't know what his name is, but he's Nigerian. He's from Nigeria. So he goes to different part of China, interacts with them in perfect Mandarin, and they would wonder like, where did you learn it from? Like, so it
Yeah.
was just interesting to see how they reacted or how they react to him conversing in their language. It's just
Uh-huh.
very interesting, concept, a very interesting thing. Something I find very interesting about humans, basically. Things like this just unifies us. I see
Of course.
comments saying that it's soft racism. Racism is soft in 5 seconds.
Oh man, I can't even see that. But yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, listen, man. It's just it just makes a difference, yo. It makes a difference, man. When you and there was this guy that spoke over 15, 20 languages, and he'll go to like he speaks Chinese or how you say it, Cantonese or Mandarin fluently.
Mandarin, yeah.
Yeah, Mandarin is the proper way, the politically correct way to say it. Fluently, fluently, and he will he'll go to like order Chinese food and stuff like that, and be like, you know, and just like or whatever, like just woo them like wow, like just look at this black man
Yeah.
speaking our language and
Speaking, yeah, exactly,
ordering
exactly.
Chinese food in our language. So that's the
Yeah,
thing, like it's a matter of making those connections and interacting with people and embracing their culture. So
exactly.
at the end of the day, it's beautiful. That's how you unify. That's exactly how you make unity with people. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So I know you said, okay, I think I kind of know the answer to this question already, because I wanted
Hmm.
to ask, which language you'd like to learn, because currently, how many languages can you really speak? How many languages? I mean, let's just count.
Like how many languages
Can you speak? Yeah.
can I speak? I mean, I could say
Yeah.
hello.
Or are you
I,
fluent?
I could say hello in
Say
like maybe five languages, but
that
that's
doesn't
it.
count.
That's
It
it.
don't count.
I know. I don't speak any other language fluently, like fluently, because I got to put in that work. So once I put in that work, yeah, I'm gonna just probably start with the one that I know the most. And and even the Spanish, like the Chinese is right now, Chinese is what I know the most. But like
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is
That's what I
interesting.
know. That's what retained the most. Um, and then
Yeah.
Spanish is second because I know I understand some a lot of words in Spanish, but don't speak it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, that's where I will start. That's where I'll start, and then I gotta get.
Spanish.
It'll be either Spanish or Chinese. I'll continue my studies with. You know,
Mhm.
I'm a self-taught
Yeah.
person, so like I'm
That's
gonna
good.
just yeah, I'm gonna just lock in when it's time to lock in. I'm gonna lock in. So and then go out there, go to Spain, go wherever, and practice. Like watch my Spanish soap operas, and brush up and do what I gotta do because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You gotta lock in.
But,
So
but, but there's just something I've noticed about Spanish though. Like people who speak Spanish, they speak it very fast. I don't know
yeah,
if it's the thing that comes with Spanish or it's just the aura, the Spanish aura. When they speak it so fast, like yo, calm down.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
Spanish is just a, I don't know, man. Like people just speak it very like the fast, like it's always very fast. I've never really seen a slow Spanish speaker before that. You just take it time and just like with English or something.
Yeah, they'll lose me in a tornado
Yeah.
if they speak Spanish fast. They come to me like I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
come again with
like what?
that. Come again with that, because I can't, yeah, yeah. So that is very true. That is very true. So yeah, man. So Nani King, any thing you want to leave with the people before?
Yo, yeah, for sure. Since we're talking about language, we're talking about culture today, I would just say, people should, you know, go out and maybe learn different things, learn language, um, and be open to other people's culture as well. You might just get to find it interesting, and you also might get to learn a thing or two, you know. And that's why I think one time you mentioned, I, I mean, I've seen a post on TikTok about, an African American that she took a trip to Africa, to somewhere in Africa, maybe Ghana or something,
Mm,
and right from the right from the onset, like right from the onset, and straight out from the bat, like she already have like a preconceived notion about where she's going to. So when she got there, she wasn't really enjoying the experience.
mm,
She was just talking about like the negative um, and the preconceived notion that she had before going there. So it makes sense to like have a positive and accepting demeanor, or to wherever you're going to, just be open to the experience, enjoy what it is, and leave your preconceived notion at the front door before you come in. However, it makes sense also to it makes sense to be conscious as well, to be security conscious. Of course, you make sure that you're good, but apart from that, just be open to learning new stuff. And I think that's just the thing I would leave with the chat.
of
Yeah.
course, man. Like leave that to the side, man. Leave it to the side. All right.
Be like this guy.
Yeah.
When John Flo was in Nigeria, was in Lagos.
uh,
Yo, this guy was doing things that I would never do.
yo.
We'll be walking on the street. This guy will pull off his shirts on the street and be on the market, not even the street. I'm talking about the market now.
uh,
He'll pull off his shirts on his shoulder and be walking around buying street stuff. I'm like, what? Yo, like I dare not, man. Like I dare not,
yeah,
try
man.
some of the things that he did. For he was like more Lagosian than some Lagosians as well. So I
Wow.
think you're
Yeah.
built for Lagos. I think
Yeah,
you're built
man.
for Lagos. Yeah, you just
Yo, like,
blended in like that.
and
That
it,
was interesting.
and that's the thing. Like, even when there was adversity and stuff like that, I just adapt, yo. I just adapt to it, man, because I understand that things are different. Things are different, and as it comes, I'm gonna take it in and hone it in, and then just make myself comfortable, like, and that's what I
Yeah,
that's what I like to do. Like when I go places, I like to feel comfortable. Like I had my shirt off on the back of the bike and stuff like that. Like I was just
for
I
real.
was just chilling, man. I was just chilling, man. I was just chilling. So it was just, that's just how I am, man. I'm adaptable, and that's one thing I want to leave with the chat is, find that adaptability inside of you, because not everywhere you
Yes.
go is going to be the same as where home is. So just find a way. Just find a way to adapt and just make it. Sometimes you got to be comfortable, uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
that builds character at the end of the day. Even if it's an
Mm,
uncomfortable situation,
mm,
if it's an uncomfortable situation, just be comfortable being uncomfortable, you know, and
Mm,
you could
mm,
you could you could go through anything in life if you have that
yeah,
mindset, you know, and that's what I
yeah.
want to leave with y'all. That's what John Flo wants to leave with y'all. You know what I
Do you know why you want to leave this thing in the chat, like this message in the chat?
Tell me why.
Because you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy. You're a sharp guy.
Spin the chair on that one. Spin the chair on that one, man. And sit down. All right. There we go. Spin the chair on that one, man. But
Yes,
but any
sir.
anyway, Sha,
Anyway,
we're
Sha, we'll
we're
catch
gonna
you
we're gonna
guys
talk to
again
y'all with
tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Same
same
time, same
time, and
place.
more. Yeah,
Some
same
more of
station.
these.
And to more of this,
Yep.
and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, uh, turn on your post notification as well, so that you get, notification. You get notified when we drop any content, and also look forward to the third and fourth episode of the Ozu,
Absolutely.
Nigeria. In Lagos. That will be dropping
Fan to
soon.
that.
Just have a little,
Fan
yeah,
to
man. To
that.
that, man. Yeah, I can't wait for them to see episode 3 and 4, because at the end of episode 2 there's a thriller for episode 3 and 4 as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Yep. Just like the man said, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't watched the 2 episodes that's out, Hustle Nigeria episode one
What are you
and
waiting
two
for?
is out. Yeah, what are you waiting for? Just check it out, man. It's only like 20 minutes of your time between the 2 episodes. So just go check it out,
Yeah.
man. Just check it out and see what blood, sweat, and tears we put into this. So we put our all into this. So we just want y'all we just don't want y'all to miss it. That's all. You see do your own. You do your own thing. You could watch it if you want to, but don't say we ain't tell you it was
Sure.
good. All right, don't ever say we ain't tell you it was good. So on that note, on that note, salute. How do you say goodbye?
Bad
Hold
guy.
on. How do you say goodbye? And you gotta teach the chat how you say goodbye in Igbo.
In Igbo, how you say goodbye is, it depends, man. It depends on the context. Cody, let's just say Cody.
All right. To all the
Yeah,
fans out
Cody.
there, and thanks for the
To all the fans
500,
out
all
there,
all
Cody.
5,000 subscribers that we just got yesterday.
5,000 plus.
What's
That was
this?
a
How you
great
say?
milestone, man. That was a
Okay,
great
wait. I
milestone.
just forgot. How you say goodbye again?
Kedu, Kedu. Oh, sorry, I meant Cody.
Was it? You said Cody?
Cody. Yeah,
Coadi.
Cody.
All right. To all the
Yeah,
fans,
Cody.
Coadi. All the subscribers, Coadi. All the beautiful people, Coadi. All right. So later on, man.
Say
Y'all
Cody.
take care, man.
Yeah.
All right, Nani King. I'm gonna see you on the
All right,
next one. All
now,
right.
yeah.
Shop,
For
shop,
sure, for
shop.
sure.
Bad guy.
Yeah,
Shop
yeah,
guy.
sharp.